To know Mike Leach must have been to know the meaning of life itself. As the Magnolia State continues to mourn the loss of the Mississippi State head football coach, people are telling stories, and those stories are larger than life and most of the time too good to be true. Yesterday, we caught up with the Mississippi State offensive lineman and Gulfport alum JT Zakak, as well as George County head football coach James Ray, who both recall some of the tales that make the Pirate the Pirate.
Marquez lived a good distance from the high school. George County is such a large county. Some of our students have 40-minute drives, and Marquez was one of those.
It was a Sunday meeting after one of our games, and he decided to read us this poem, The Little Engine That Could, the poem.
They followed me out to his house to get him there, and we're standing out in his front yard, and there's this massive oak tree standing there.
He read it, and he would explain on it. He was like, chew, 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 chew.
He couldn't take his eyes off of it. I'm trying to get out. I know they got business to do and things to discuss, and I'm trying to leave, and he couldn't take his eyes off this oak tree, and he just started on the history of oak tree.
And he was basically saying we need to be like the little engine that could, and so then he said, you know what, I'm gonna get this posted up on y'all's lockers. So we come into practice that Tuesday, and I'll open our lockers. It's this train with a Mississippi State and a Mike Leach face on it, and it says, I know I can, I know I can, I know I can.
It was an amazing 30 or 40-minute conversation there about oak trees that I never knew or probably even desired to want to know about.
And then a week later, in our little cubbies, here comes a shirt with the same train on it with the Mississippi State and Mike Leach, and it's on the back says, I know I can, I know I can, I know I can.
I'm sitting there thinking the family's inside, they got meals cooked, they're waiting for you to go in there, but we're out here talking about oak trees. So I think that just falls in line with who Coach Leach was.
And then at practice that week, they have music playing before practice, and they're playing the Little Engine That Could song for us. So he's teasing us and trying to get us going, and I guess that was his way to do it.
And the things that probably got him recruits to the different universities that he's been at and why he's been so successful.
The Alabama game, he was a little upset with how we performed, and so the next night after the game, Sunday, he took us to Leach Beach, and the whole team to Leach Beach, and Leach Beach is this big 50-yard sand pit, and it's just all sand. And so he took the whole team, everyone, and we had to roll in it. And we rolled back and forth, and then he brought us up, and he told us, and he was explaining the reason why. He said, I want y'all to remember this. He's like, football is a tough and gritty sport, and you have to be tough to play it. And so later this week, because the sand's not going to go away anytime soon, it's like when you're in the shower changing anything, and you find a little grain of sand, I want you to think of whenever it had made you roll, and that football's a tough and gritty sport. And everyone's a little upset that we're rolling, but it was a great message. Honestly, I understood what he was saying, and I loved it. So sure enough, later that week, changing in the shower, a little sand falls off from a little crease from somewhere, and look, football's a tough and gritty sport. So I like that message a lot, and I like that story a lot.
Several Coast players sharing their thoughts following Leach's passing, starting with the aforementioned Marquez Dortch, telling News 25, quote, he was a great guy and he always wanted the best from his players every day, no matter what. It was an honor to be coached by him. I will keep his family, friends, and the whole Mississippi State family in my prayers as we all go through this tough time. He may be gone, but will never be forgotten, unquote. Poplarville alum Khalid Moore also weighing in. Coach Leach had a big impact on my life. He was an amazing person and an amazing coach. The conversations I did have with him, I never knew where the conversations were going to go. I'm just honestly blessed to have met him and spend the time with him that I did. May he rest in peace. And then D'Iberville alum Jaden Wally telling WXXV, Coach Leach just made us better men, both on and off the field. We were hurt by his passing, but if you know Coach Leach, you know that he would want us to keep going forward and not look back. We will miss him dearly. He has been such an inspiration in our lives. Now, my Mike Leach story can't possibly compare to anything else we've already heard, but I was fortunate enough to meet him 6 months ago during Mississippi State's annual Road Dogs Tour, which made a stop right down the road at Sully's in Gulfport. It was a quick interview. Pretty standard stuff, but I had obviously seen most of his all-time rants on the internet, so I took my best shot at getting him into his patented stream of consciousness. Which food are you most excited to eat over there on the buffet line?
I'll tell you, it was all good. The shrimp is impossible to beat. The jambalaya, nobody's going to complain that it's not hot enough. So that was really good too. And, the food down here is really good.
Just like it says on the banner behind him, maroon and white forever, all of us here at News 25 are ringing our cowbells a little louder in honor of the Pirate. Rest in peace, Coach. For News 25, I'm Jeff Haeger. Have a great day.